Coach's Corner continues with head football coach and athletic director Mike Battles of B.B. Comer. And Friday night, B.B. Comer and Beulah. And first half went pretty good. Second half, not so good.
Well, we've had a tendency here in last part of the season, we go out, we'll play a pretty good first half, and then the second half we go out and give up some quick, easy points, and it continued to get us. Beulah didn't do anything that we didn't expect. Our kid, we knew exactly where they were going to be, what they were going to do, and it was just 11-on-11 football. They had, I think they just had a few more than us, but they brought up some. I talked to Coach before the ball game, and they brought up some guys from their junior high who's closed out their season. And they brought them out there. They weren't going to play, so the ball game boiled down to two teams with about 15 players each. They made the plays, we didn't.
Late in the first half, B.B. Comer leading 14-8. Looked like that we had a chance to get a score right there at the end of the first half. Kind of lay that out for us as to how that developed.
We moved the ball down there, but we were out of timeouts. And we were trying to get, we got them over to the sideline, got two plays called, but we couldn't get, couldn't execute them. And it was, a lot of that goes back to play, a lot of kids playing at different positions. And we had to use timeouts in the ball game for other purposes, which we didn't need to. And that always, it hurts you when you have to take a timeout just to get a team out.
And you strategically try to plan your timeouts at particular times.
Well, we did early in the season for heat timeouts and that kind of stuff, but now we're just sort of using them. But, when you have to burn a timeout to get people on the field or get in a form to get the right people on the offense or defense, then you've wasted a timeout. That should be taken care of. But there again, we're at the point, like I said, we're at the critical mass right now where we only have enough football players to play. We've got ninth graders backing up ninth graders, and sometimes they forget. And I thought all the kids that went out there and played Friday night, we played hard. Beulah played hard. Coach Root and them did it. They've played hard all year long. We knew it was going to be a rough ball game, and they do a good job. It's just we're both 0-8. So we were playing for the get the harness off of you, but we didn't do it, and they did, and so we still got one more chance.
Come out in the second half. Your thoughts at halftime? Your club's leading 14-8, and you're playing pretty good, and there's a second half to go.
Well, we came back out with talked to them about not giving up big plays, and we went right out and gave them right back up. And for whatever reason, and it's not that we didn't anything that knew that they did. We just were in position and didn't make the play. And once they get back, once that runner breaks to that third level, we're not going to catch him. We don't have the speed back there in the defensive backfield to run them down. And once they get us spread out and get past that second level, I think our kids up front, when we, first, second down, and then we do that a lot. We'll hold them, and then we break. And then once they get past some linebackers, then when they get in that open field, it's just hard for us to hem them up.
You had some guys that played pretty doggone well, though, for you.
Well, we had a lot of guys. I think that Jason McMillian coming in there, Jason comes in, he's playing tailback for us, and gets back there and plays quarterback for us and throw. He does everything, and he hadn't had the reps that, he's been more of a running back, defensive back, that kind of stuff thing right there. I think defensively, our kids got up there and got after him. I think we had a lot of kids on defense that were running to the football. Offensively, we went out there, we moved the football. We had some good blocking up front and all. But as our kids get tired, then that right there decreases in the number of plays and what we can do up there. We finally got hemmed up. Once we threw the ball and the cat got out of the bag, then instead of a 7-man front, we got a 9-man front, and then the safety started easing on up there, and so it makes it tough for us to block 11 guys.
Your fullback ran the football well.
Jacoby Kelly's he's an Iron Man. He comes off, he gets frustrated and gets tired and everything. It's just like anybody else, but Jacoby, he put some shoes on for that ball game. He goes out there, and he's going to be out there he's on every team that we have. He doesn't come off the field unless he needs a break or whatever, and he's off, and keep your helmet on, get back out there and go back to work. And we have a lot of them that are like that. And, like here near the end of the season, we've got a lot more guys going both ways. And like I said, we're backing freshmen up with freshmen, so we were shorthanded Friday night. We're going to finish the season this Friday at Fayetteville. We'll go out there. I know our kid will go out. We execute as far as execution and knowing what to do and how to those kind of things out there, we're not having a problem with that. What we're doing is having a problem with the matchups. They're getting us out athleted and that kind of stuff. And then our kids, they'll go, but like I said, we can't catch faster backs.
One of your young men on the football team who played nose tackle, and I don't know if he weighs 150 pounds.
Zach Dobbs, you don't ever have to worry about what effort you're going to get. Now, he is full speed, full tilt from the time he goes out there. Like I said, the week before when we played Prattville Christian, Zach, most players wouldn't have played. He played the whole ball game. He's on, and Zach is another one that's on all of our. He's on every team out there. He's on off and plays tailback for us, and plays nose guard, and he goes full speed. We expect Zach to play, to do a lot, to have a good ball game. He's going to go out there. He's a center's worst nightmare because now he'll get up there and he gets in your grill. He'll stay in that grill, and you're not going to run him off, and you're not going to back him up. He's coming, so you can just go and get ready.
And sometimes when you got kids like Dobbs and others that are playing so hard and playing so full bore, they'll make a mistake or turn the football over, but yet they're doing it at such an extreme energy rate. It's hard to say anything to them about it.
Well, they're playing hard. Nobody wants to fumble football. Nobody wants to miss a tackle. Nobody wants to turn one loose. And it just happens out there. And when you've got kids, like I said, all of our kids, Zach included, Jacoby included. Jacoby plays defensive line. He plays linebacker. He plays fullback. We can even ask him to throw the football a little bit there. He does it all. Zach is enough, tailback and all week. But all of our players, even our ninth graders, are multiple. We have ninth graders that can play up on the front at linebacker, move back, play defensive back, play fullback, and then move up and play guard and do it adequately. Not great, but enough to keep us in the ball game.
Yeah. All right, you got Fayetteville tomorrow night, and it's, of course, B.B. Comer's final final game of the season, as it is Fayetteville's regular season finale. And these two teams very close to one another in geographic area, and each kid probably knows one another pretty well.
Well, I think this right here will develop into a good rivalry. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to replace, some of the ones that we haven't played this year, and we're more in line with them size-wise and everything. And we had a good, of course, Fayetteville's the last football team we beat. We hadn't won a ball game since we played them last year. And so I don't know if that's a curse or what, but we'd like to get started in a different direction if we could. But, Fayetteville, Coach Limbaugh, they do a good job. Their players play hard. I think last year, like I told them, that was one of theirs. I love watching them on film because they get out there and get after it and all that. And we expect the same thing. They've had, we're going to go out there. Our kids, we know what they're going to do, and then these kids do know each other. Now, there's a lot of intermingling, or whatever you want to call it. All these kids do, and so I think it'll turn into a good rivalry, and I think Friday night's going to be a good ball game because Fayetteville's not going to give the thing away. If we win it, we'll have to take it away. And if we get out there and can put two halves together, then we need to, because there's not going to be any more opportunities. Our seniors are going to end up, we don't want to go 1-9, even as bad as it sounds. It's better than 0-10.
Yep. And you've got a handful of seniors that'll be playing their last game.
That is correct. They're going to be playing their last ball game, and they've given it, they went out there and played when a lot of seniors would throw in a towel and all, lesser kids or lesser athletes or lesser football players would have already chucked it and went somewhere else. And
Coach Mike Battle, our guest this morning, he's the head football coach and athletic director at B.B. Comer, the Tigers, and Fayetteville. Tomorrow night down at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville for the final game of the season for B.B. Comer, and the final game of the season for Fayetteville, as well as we conclude with Coach Battles. He'll be back with us next week to wrap up the season, and that'll be our final Coach's Corner with Coach Mike Battles. Coach, always a pleasure, and tough sledding last week. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow night.
Well, if we can put 4 quarters together, we'll be all right.
All right. Coach Mike Battle is our guest here on the Coach's Corner this morning. We continue with more Daybreak. We've got a look at state or national news and sports. The World Series continued Game 2 last night in Cleveland. Got all the highlights of that coming up later on in sports. So we continue on this Thursday morning right after this.